So tell me what's going on with the rest of the original members of the Dungeon family. What are they doing these days? Like Outkast, Organized Noise, Sleepy Brown, The Witch Doctor. I even liked Parental Advisory. What are they?
Well, people may know the name Kawan KP Prather. He discovered Ti, and he's since then become quite a label exec in his own right. Just recently was appointed to head of urban music, at Atlantic. But he was the DJ for Parental Advisory, and I do see him a lot more often. Something as we work in the same building. I bumped into Reese before, who's the lead MC. I don't see Mello at all, man. Mello's the other cat from Parental Advisory. I see Sleepy Brown a lot often because we were in Vegas and Sleepy lives out there. So, he came down to see a couple of the shows when we were doing the residency at the Planet Hollywood, and talked to Dre, talked to Big. I know that EJ, excuse me, that's his real name, but Witch Doctor, he moved to, I can't remember where he moved, but he's somewhere in Middle America, man. I think he's got a family and kids, and probably left all of this music madness alone, man. But everybody's cool and everybody's cordial.
Each of you formed separate groups outside of Goodie Mob after World Party. What's the status of each? You had Gnarls Barkley. I love that song Crazy that was on that album. And you also had the Jazzy Faye collabo album, Ali of Saint Lunatics and Big Give team up. You had Willie Eyes and the Lumberjacks. What's the status? What's going on with each project?
Yeah, we actually are going to do another Gnarls Barkley album. And people may not know the history. It was initially just something recreational, something independent and out of pocket, and it went on to become a success in its own right. And then we were only kind of slotted to do one album. We ended up doing two, and in hopes of a third. So I've actually started on some Gnarls material, but we can't start formally until Danger Mouse is available. And right now he's preoccupied with doing the new Broken Bells album and also a U2 album. And of course I'm doing a new solo album as well, Girl Power. And I had just finished with the Goodie Mob album, Age Against the Machine. So yeah, but sometime late next year, hopefully, we can get started. You know what, man? I was just talking about it the other day. And I thought to myself, it may have been preserved for one point or another. Only maybe a few of the records have kind of seen the light of day. That there's a record we did with Nate Dogg, or and maybe one other one that I saw on the internet once. But for the most part, that entire project was preserved, and it would still be fresh. I still love that record. Maybe we could, get together and agree upon how we could release it or where we could release it. But I personally still love the record, and I was talking with a quiet collaborator on the album, goes by the name of Big Zach, and he was really, more or less A&Ring, and mediating a lot of what we were doing musically. And we were talking about it the other day, man, and I would love for people to hear that record. It's really not bad at all. That's crazy. We were out and about the other night, and I just bumped into Nelly and Ali. I haven't seen them in a while, and I actually did a record with them for that project. I don't know. I don't think they have any plans on doing anything else anytime soon. But I do know Gipp is in the studio right now, doing some music for a solo album. Slated for sometime next year. Okay. I like to hear what that sounds like. I know the project you're talking about, because one time this was so cool. I can't remember where we were. Remember, we were overseas. We were doing a festival. 120,000 people at least. And a partner of ours, Hank. He was doing road management for me at the time, and I think he just took off and started wandering through the crowd. And it turns out Cujo, they were performing this project on another stage. In some type of way, man, they were able to bump into each other, and he was walking there, he was like, look who I found. And it was Cujo, and I was very proud of him, because I didn't know that project, had seen that kind of light, and I was just really it was like a real pleasant surprise to see him out there doing his thing too. Yeah, there's a couple of new songs that we had just set aside for them. Like when we were doing the new Goody Mob album, Age Against the Machine, we had kind of just put some songs to the side, and we were calling it another project called Mojo. Like T-Mo and Cool Joe. Like, you feel me? So they had a ring to it, and it was like, and I said, yeah, y'all should do something and call it Mojo, like a whole other little side project, So with that, that was enough incentive for them to do a couple of records, but it's nothing that they've started on formally yet. There's no budget for it.